much as he can, not worrying too much about how much he's sending. So currently the game lagging. I can see Sodo. Some pretty epic speed from both players there. So both players having a really good ability to downstack, which provides the sort of length that these games have. I mean, especially with Biltar playing a really defensive style, it means that Corrosive really can't send enough garbage to just push Biltar out. As Biltar takes that set, making the game 2-1. So Biltar looking like he's going to take this set when the lag clears out. And that will bring the game to 2-2. So let's get disconnected from the server momentarily and rejoin. Okay, so the score is 2-all. Corrosive really at the top now. Biltar just needing a reasonable spike, although he doesn't quite get it quick enough. Corrosive with just enough time to get himself out of that situation, and now finds himself back at the bottom, and I suspect it'll be Biltar who's quite quickly finding himself at the top of his field. and Bilsar taking out a game. So it is 3-2 to him, taking the lead in the final for the first time. Both players really keeping a low profile for their stack. Whoops, sorry. God damn it. Bilsar with pretty nice 5 combo there during down stacking. Both players actually sort of betting into fairly similar styles at the minute. Corrosive tending to T-spin a little bit less than he might usually do, as we have a small amount of lag. Fantastic. There we go. And Corrosive under a small amount of pressure, Bilsar not really with anything to spike him with again. As is fairly typical of these sorts of matches, although Corrosive really getting pushed towards the top now. I'm not sure how much Bilsar really pays attention to his opponent's stack, but I feel if he could just get those spikes in when Corrosive is really struggling near the top of his field, then they could be extremely effective. I mean, right now Corrosive in the top sort of third of his field with some really messy garbage that he has to get to. Bilsar with combos still keeping up a little bit of pressure, not a huge amount. Corrosive going to be able to clear down a little bit here. Does he? No, he doesn't go for the T-spin double. He actually misdrops around that setup, and that hands the game to Bilsar. Really some quite high pressure from both players in these games to not afford to make any mistakes. Really keeping it hard and keeping the environment one where any slip up just gets punished pretty badly actually by the other player. So Bilsar, the right hand player, currently leading this match. Corrosive going for a T-spin setup, following it up with a small combo. He probably could have eked a little bit more out of that if he'd been trying harder. Again, going for the T-spin double by Corrosive. Bilsar with a slight misdrop, I think, there. And Corrosive taking that match on the other side of the lag. Game is 4-4. Corrosive stacking it really high there. Tempting, I think, for some sort of spike. It might work if he can follow it up with a bit more. Doesn't really have any of his stack left to send something with. And Biltar comboing through that garbage pretty nicely and sending it all straight back and putting Corrosive out the top. And the game is 5-4 in Biltar's favour. Only about halfway through this final. Biltar still keeping the fairly standard setups. Nothing particularly fancy. Corrosive right at the bottom of his stack. Biltar spikes a small amount. Putting Corrosive under a small amount of pressure. Nothing too bad at this point, although Corrosive does make a misdrop. Manages to clean it pretty quickly. I don't think it slowed him down a huge amount. Biltar just continually eating away, not doing anything too bad. He took quite a while placing that L piece there though. Might have hurt him a little bit, although he seems to be doing well with a good 5 combo there. Not so much sending a huge amount to Corrosive, but doing a good job of stalling the garbage he was receiving. Although Corrosive takes that to square the game up, and it's 5-5 in this first attempt final. Nullpomino weekly. Corrosive with a misdrop off the start there. But it goes into a T-spin double setup, but it only actually pulls off a single. Biltar just keeping things low. Small misdrop there. Slightly awkward S placement there. I'm not sure if that was quite what he intended to do. Corrosive with some really messy garbage he's going to have to get through here now. The sort of trilling area in the centre is probably going to be quite difficult. And Biltar's at the bottom, so it doesn't have a lot to send as this game hangs due to lag. Corrosive coming out of that sort of salvo okay. Just about. Biltar now the one with some awkward garbage. Really stacked around his middle. He's doing a good job of comboing through though. And that is the other disadvantage of that sort of clustered garbage, is it becomes extremely difficult to combo through, but Biltar manages to get enough of a send away with that to put the game to 6-5, regaining the lead.